I'm Jessica Tozer, a technical team leader at Stevens Traceability Systems. I'm here today to give you 10 top tips to keep your scales in great condition. My number one tip is keeping your scale clean, and by keeping it clean with the correct procedures and substances. Do not jet wash a machine, it is electrical, you do need to be careful with it. Do not use any abrasive cleaners or any strong cleaners, you should be using the correct cleaners for it. When cleaning your machine, don't use any sharp or edged knives or pens to clean up any debris or muck build up on the indicator itself. Checking that when you jet wash it, you only jet wash the base and not into the junction box, as this can put it up with water and cause weighing issues. You want to check there's no build up of muck underneath the plates or underneath the scale, which could stop it weighing correctly. Simple things building up underneath will stop it weighing correctly in each corner or underneath the load cell. You want to check the load cell isn't covered in any muck or debris, and you want to make sure the cables aren't covered in muck or debris, as this can also cause weighing issues. Tip number 2 is to check your cables. You will have multiple cables coming out of your weighing machine. The two most important ones are your power cable and your interconnecting cable from the base to the headwork. Checking your cables, you should use your hands to run along the cables and ensure there is no breaks or visible damage. You should also check that they are tight in the glands and not wiggling loose or free. A break in your power cable could cause issues with the machine turning on and off intermittently and other issues such as that, which is also a health and safety problem. The break or damage between the headwork and the indicator cable could mean that you have intermittent weighing problems or fluctuating weight. What to do if you have a break in any of these cables is to log a call with our service team, and we will come out and we will either replace the cable or possibly replace the unit, depending on how bad the damage is. Tip number 3 is about water ingress. We discussed earlier about cleaning your scale. Quite often on hygiene sites, you will have a jet washer which is used to clean the scales. Jet washing could cause water ingress into part of your scale. In the indicator, you can get things which will affect the internal electronics. If you see anything such as condensation on the outside, you could have water ingress on the inside. The way to check is to make sure you have no cracks or damage on your screen which could get water into it. If you have anything that looks like condensation or water droplets inside of your indicator, call one of our service team and we will come out to have a look, to dry it out and to check there's no internal electrical damage. The second place that you can get water ingress is in a pit platform or any sort of platform that's got a junction box underneath. If a junction box gets water underneath it, it could affect the load cells and cause weighing issues. To make sure that you don't get this issue is to ensure you have proper drainage underneath the platform and you check it regularly once it's been cleaned out to ensure there's no water sitting underneath. Tip number 4, keep your bolts tight. Part of your scale will be connected by either bolts or screws, whether it's keeping the headwork to the column or the base to the column or the base to the headwork. These bolts need to be secure, not loose where things can move easily and cause any damage or drop off. Checking these bolts is by using your fingers and twisting. If you cannot twist open or closed with your fingers, then they are tight as they should be. Call this a quarter pinch turn. If any of your bolts or screws are loose, you are entitled to close them and make sure they are tight. If you have any issues where they will not tighten or could be threaded, call one of the service team and we can come out and check it for you. This is to ensure there is no damage or loss of anything, because in food factories especially, if you lose any screws or bolts, it could be detrimental to your production, and also it could mean that water ingress can get into your scale. Tip number 5 is looking after your touchscreen. If you have a cover on your touchscreen, fantastic. This will protect most problems with your touchscreen. We recommend you only use your fingers to select options on your touchscreen. No pens, no knives or any other sharp objects you might think are better to use on the touchscreen. These can cause scratches, which will mean you either have part of this touchscreen that will not be able to be used, or the whole touchscreen will need to be replaced, which can get costly. Cleaning the touchscreen to ensure there's no product build-up on the side. Again, you need to use the correct procedures and the correct products. Non-abrasive cleaning substances, and you need to ensure you run the screen cleaning mode when you do this. This allows you up to 30 seconds to clean the screen without pressing any buttons you shouldn't be pressing. Tip number 6, keeping your plate straight. Whether you have a bench scale or a platform, it is important to make sure the plates that sit above the load cell are straight or in good condition. If you have a bench scale, to check this is to take the plate off and lift it upside down to ensure all of the frame underneath is straight and all the bolts are where they should be. If there is any dent or damage to the plates, this could cause uneven weighing, which could cause you major weighing issues. The same is for a platform. If you check your plates on the platform and you have any dips or dents in the platform, this could cause weighing issues where there is contact made where there shouldn't be and it thinks there is more weight on the scale than there is. Tip number 7, don't overload your scale. Your scale has a set capacity. You should not overload this capacity. This could cause major damage to the load cell, including twisting or bending the load cell, which will mean it will need a complete replacement. I have been to sites where there has been a 50 kilogram scale on a bench and I've watched blokes get up and sit on top of the scale. I can bet they're more than 50 kilos in weight. This has meant I've had to replace a load cell and quite often the plate or the frame that it's on has been bent or damaged. If your scale is a 30 kilo capacity, it should only have a maximum of 30 kilos on it. Tip number 8 is checking your buttons. On your indicator, you will either have multiple buttons or 1 or 2 buttons. These buttons will have specific jobs such as turning the machine on and off, setting a tear or taking a tear off, zeroing the machine and possibly printing. To check these buttons work, when the machine is turned on first thing in the morning, use your finger to press on the buttons. If it should light up and has a little LED light above it and it doesn't, then this means you have an issue inside internally with the electronics. If it does light up, fantastic. Some scales will have a little noise like a beep as you press the button, which will tell you it's working or not. If you have any issues with your buttons not working, as over time they do get fair wear and tear and will stop working, then we can come in and we can either replace it or replace the headwork for you. Tip number 9, leave the repairs to the professionals. There are multiple things you can do to ensure the good condition of your scale, such as good hygiene practice. However, any repairs should be left to a practiced and qualified weighing engineer. Any issues you have, we should be coming in and doing the repair for you to ensure not only health and safety is done correctly, but the repair is done correctly. The best practice is to leave the job to the professionals. And my final tip, number 10, is to have regular calibrations and maintenance visits. The amazing difference you can have with having more than 1 visit per year, whether it's a 2 calibration visit, 1 calibration and 1 maintenance visit, is insane. You can have instant checks 6 months in to see if there are any issues that could occur with your weighing machine that they wouldn't notice later on. If you come once a year to calibrate a machine, it will keep it more accurate than if you never have the machine calibrated. Here at Stevens, we offer a wide variety of different calibration and maintenance packages for your service. We recommend you have a look and talk to our contract managers to see what we can offer you to keep your scales in tip-top condition.